Hi guys, welcome back to Emily Speaks. My name is Emily. Well, on this podcast we talk about breaking the autistic stereotypes and normalizing that autism is real. Now, today's episode is going to look a little different because, well, unfortunately, I have impinghetto. Yay, I'm definitely saying that wrong. It's a skin condition where my face has a bunch of scabs on it. It is highly contagious, so that's why I am doing an audio podcast, not a video podcast, because I don't want y'all seeing what I look like, because I know a lot of you might unsubscribe from this. But the time that I'm uploading this, it'll be Valentine's Day. Woo, so amazing. Whether you're single or taken, Valentine's Day is a good idea to do some self-care and really focus on you. But today I wanted to talk about what is like dating as an autistic person. All right, let's get started. So, like, growing up, I never really, like, celebrated, like, Valentine's Day. I mean, we did in school with, like, the your box and everything, where, like, kids bring candies and you bring your box and, like, kids put candy inside the box. But, like, I never really experienced real romantic feelings. Back in middle school, like, I'd see, like, girls, like, holding the boys' hands and all that stuff, and I'd be like, oh my god, that's kind of cool. I want to experience that. Except, no one wanted to date me. Yeah, no one wanted to date me in middle school, and I can see why. I was pretty cringy. But a lot of things did come of dating in middle school. I mean, it was middle school dating. What do you expect to happen? It was most likely just holding hands and, like, kissing on the cheek. That literally is it. Nothing more. You have to remember, I went to a Catholic middle school. Do you really think we're gonna be doing shit like that? It was really hard. In elementary school, it was like fun games. We had candy and all that stuff. Middle school is really hard because I would get played on with a lot of jokes. Basically, I was the butt of jokes with relationships and everything like that, meaning that people would, like, pull a prank being like, oh my god, Emily, you have a Valentine. I'm like, really? I do, getting my hopes up. And if I expressed that I like somebody, like, they would use that against me, being like, oh my god, like, yeah, Emily, like, look who it is, it's your crush. And I'm like, oh my god, they like me. They never did. They really never did. And that's what sucks. They knew that I was very gullible with that stuff and being like, oh my god, I want to experience, like, a real relationship and what it's like and everything like that. And it was a small class, so everyone knew each other, especially me as well. They knew me a lot, and it sucked because they always, like, hey, like, I had friends who were like, hey, you know, this is all, like, a joke on you, right? And I'm like, no, like, I think he really likes me. Spoiler alert, he never did. But I remember this one time in middle school, oh my god. So everyone knew I was autistic. I was very openly clear about it, that I was autistic. I had an IEP. I had special needs. So these group of girls came up to me saying, hey, do you like this guy? And I said, yes, I think he is super cute and I think he is amazing. And they're like, okay, cool. It was the fair, and we host, like, this fair at my middle school, and we would always go there every year. I went there with a group of friends, and we all just hung out there and stuff, and we're all, like, hanging out on the Ferris wheel, and this girl goes, let's talk about crushes. Who do you have a crush on? And this other girls was saying the crushes and stuff, and then it went on to me. Emily, who do you have a crush on? And I'm like, oh, no one really. And she's like, oh, what about so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I have a crush on them, which he was in the cart with me. And he goes, yeah, I have a crush on you too. So I'm like, oh my god, you like me. This is so cool. And I'm like, are we dating now? And he's like, yeah, I guess you are my girlfriend. And I'm like, oh my god, my first boyfriend. Yay me. So I got super excited. We were holding hands. We were, like, cuddling. I was so excited. I was so happy that I had a boyfriend. And I went up to my sister being like, oh my god, this guy and I are dating. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. And she was like, wait, what? Like, yeah, like, Lindsay, like, I have a boyfriend. She's like, okay, this kind of sounds weird, because she knew I would tell her, like, yeah, like, I don't like any of the guys at my middle school because they were all jerks. A few weeks later, we were, like, texting and stuff. I was at my locker, and this girl came up to me, and she's like, hey, do you have a sec? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, sweetheart, I'm sorry, but they're pulling a joke on you, right? I was like, what? They go, yeah, you know that he doesn't really like you. He pretended to, so he can make fun of you and everyone else. And I was, like, in disbelief. I'm like, no, that's not real. Like, you're just making this up to hurt my feelings. A day later after that, he broke up with me over text, which, if you're gonna break up with someone, do it do it in person. Like, don't do it over fucking text. I was heartbroken. I did find out it was a joke. I was the laughing stock, and I was so embarrassed. They took advantage of me with doing all that. I was so mortified and embarrassed because they always told me, like, oh, you'll never date anybody. No one will ever love you. No one's going to accept that you're autistic. Those are real things that have been said to me. And it sucked. It really, really sucked. And it hurts because middle school, I was like, I really want to be like the rest of the other kids who have relationships and that are dating and that are doing all this stuff. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to have these relationships and doing all that. But unfortunately, that was just not my reality. So, flash towards high school is my freshman year, and I went from 50 kids to, like, 1,000 kids. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. Because I went from private to public. That is a huge deal for me. Because with big changes and everything, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Also, quick side note, I am using the same microphone. I did get a new one, but I had to get an adapter for that one, so you'll have to excuse that. So, freshman year, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like, I'm meeting people. Cool. I'm kind of a little nervous. And then I met my first boyfriend. He was amazing. Oh my god. He is my best friend to this day. He is awesome. He doesn't want to be named in the podcast, so I'm keeping him anonymous. But it was so funny because I got on the bus and I'm like, oh my god, is that a Harry Potter shirt? He goes, yeah, it's a Harry Potter shirt. And I go, I fucking love Harry Potter. Not really, but, like, I kind of did. I don't know. And he's like, oh my god, what house? And I said, Hufflepuff. And he goes, same here. So we start talking and find out we both have the same history class, which is so cool. I'm excited. He's excited. We keep talking. He's awesome. He's nerdy. He's like me. Fast forward a few weeks later, he texts me going, hey, I made this playlist for you. I usually do this for my friends. Take a look at it. And I'm like, okay. And I did. And it was a bunch of love songs. And I'm like, wait, is this for me? Because I think you might have the wrong person. And he's like, no, silly, it's for you. I like you. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I really like you. I'm like, huh? You like me? What? And he was like, yeah, like, will you be my girlfriend? And I'm like, I have to think about this. Because, like I said, I never done the whole dating thing, like a real dating thing. Like, this is real. And I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, what the fuck? So, a few weeks later, yes, you heard me right. A few weeks later, because I left this man on red. I was like, you know what? I will be your girlfriend. So it was like an, oh my god, yay! But then I realized, oh, I have to tell him I'm autistic. So with dating, I got a lot of questions like, how do you date as an autistic person? So usually, I have the conversation with them. I usually sat them down being like, hey, I just want to tell you, I have this thing called autism spectrum disorder, also known as ASD. I just get really overstimulated easily, and explain, like, what autism is, my autism specifically. I usually get 3 reactions, usually like, okay, cool, like, well, I'll help you. And, like, they help me, like, with my meltdowns and, like, everything else and supporting me. I get the, like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, not really knowing what to do, but is okay with it, kind of. And I get the, oh, okay, bye, and just ditches me because I'm too much to handle, apparently. Yes, the third one has actually happened. I got ghosted because I was autistic. Yeah, I'm not making that up. That is true. But it was really funny because my first relationship was just so nice because he was so sweet. He understood. He helped me. The reason we did break up was because it was just childhood love, and I felt like I was just not ready for a relationship. We both weren't. We did get back together my sophomore through my junior year, and then during quarantine, I broke up with him. But he's so sweet. He's my best friend. I love him. If you're watching this, hi. Love you. But it's interesting. Dating is interesting as an autistic person because you have to let your person in. You have to, like, let them be with you and tell them about you and everything. I don't want to touch in my second relationship. He and I are still great friends. You all know who it was. He and I are still great friends. It's just sometimes things just don't work out, and that is okay. He was autistic like I was. So I was like, okay, great. He understands. I understand. Boom. But then I realized, oh wait, we both have our autism is very different. And then I realized that, and I was like, oh shit, or I was right. Like, even though we both are autistic, we're both different people, and our brains work differently. But I think it's nice because if you are dating someone with autism, I know it's very different because, like I said, everyone's autism is very different. Not everyone's autism is the same. It's kind of like a nice understanding of, I understand what you are going through. I have a lot of autistic friends who understand how they can help me and I help them. But I like people who understand. That's what I like in a relationship. People who understand you and what you are going through. So with my relationships, it was really interesting. Not everyone knew I was autistic. I did open up a bit and said, like, I was very open about my autism. Especially on social media right now, I'm very open about my autism. Especially making this podcast where I basically talk about me being autistic. I just want to be open and normalize it. Dating is just difficult because sometimes you don't know the reactions you're gonna get. Sometimes it's hard finding somebody. Sometimes you never go past the talking stage of relationships. Shut up, email. My email went off. But it's hard because then people stereotype you. For example, mom and dad, if you are hearing this, you might want to skip this part, please. Or anyone who considers me family, please skip this part. I was talking to this guy once, and he and I were talking, and it was really nice. And I was kissing him, and we were making out, and he's like, well, I didn't know you liked this stuff. And I said, well, what do you mean? Like, I'm confused. And he's like, well, there's this rumor that was going around saying that since you're autistic, you don't like to do that stuff. What the fuck? So yeah, apparently somebody spread a rumor around saying that I didn't like doing sexual stuff because of my autism. That is the stupidest response. Like, this is the dumbest rumor I've ever heard. And then it led up to me hypersexualizing myself because I didn't want people to be like, oh, well, she doesn't like this. I'm like, no, I like doing that kind of stuff. I like having, like, sex and stuff. It's hard because people always think, like, autistic people can't be in relationships and they can't love. Yes, we can. I have so many friends who are autistic and have been in, like, a relationship for, like, 2 or more years. And there's celebrities as well, like a bunch of TikTokers who are autistic and they have a really healthy relationship with their partners. Not all autistic people want to date. I had this one friend, she's autistic, and she is ace, which means that she doesn't really like the idea of dating. She just rather kind of like be by herself. She doesn't really experience romantic feelings for others. That's what people really think that autism is with some people, is that they don't feel romantic feelings for others. That can be towards some autistic people, but for me, I love loving others. I love love. I love being with somebody. I do need to learn how to be by myself though. But it's just hard because everyone always throws in the air being like, oh yeah, like, well, autistic people can't be with other, like, neurotypical people. And I'm like, yes, I dated a neurotypical guy and it worked out fine, except, like I said, people change and people, have different standards and stuff. But it's just interesting, the amount of rumors around like autistic people and dating being like, yeah, you can't do anything with them. And it's like, what? I don't know. I just find it funny, the stereotypes and everything. And people being like, oh, like, I can never date an autistic person because we'll never have sex. My friend, I know this is a little TMI, literally texted me and she's like, girl, I just had she's like, I just had sex with this weird guy. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's autistic as well. And she's like, I don't know, he just creeped me out and I kicked him out after we had sex. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, no, it's just hard because a lot of people like think of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, which I love that show, but everyone thinks of Sheldon like The Big Bang Theory with dating, but that's not always the case. Some autistic people might have trouble with communication or just being intimate, and it's hard. A partner I was dating a while back, he didn't want to be intimate with me for a while because he was scared to be intimate with me. And that's okay. It's a huge step. And I'm not judging anybody who doesn't want to be intimate with their partners, who doesn't want to have sex. That is okay. That is your body and your choice. You can do whatever you feel is comfortable for you. I'm just saying that autistic people can have sex, can have families, and can have kids. I followed this one TikToker, I should look him up right now. He has a family and he opens up about his autism. And he has kids and a wife. And I need to look him up because he's so funny. I'll probably put it like in the description down below. But he's so cool. And he talks about like autism and everything else. Like, autistic people can date. And it sucks because so many people are like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes. They can. Like, I have talked to and dated so many people, and I'm autistic. Like, I like being romantic, and I love feeling those feelings of love and everything else. It's just hard because sometimes I do have trouble expressing my emotions, or I have trouble communicating and figuring out what is the common denominator of what is going on with me in the moment. And that is okay. But it's nice when your partner is so understanding and kind and willing to help and sit down with you. I think that is a really good trait to have in a partner, where they are willing to sit down with you and talk to you and really help you regulate your feelings. Because I know some people who have a hard time doing that, like me. Sometimes I have trouble like helping myself with my emotions because sometimes I get too overwhelmed where I need people to bring me out of there. And sometimes you don't even need a relationship. You just need good friends. Like, I'm single right now and I'm happy because I have amazing friends who are looking out for me. I'm living my best life with my friends, and I don't really need a partner right now. I just need his friends. And I want to discover like who I am. And people always like, I had a friend who was always in a relationship. She was never single. And I'm like, girl, you need to take a break and just relax. You need to be by yourself for a while. She was like, I don't know how comfortable I feel doing that. I just don't think I'm ready for that. And I'm like, you are ready for that. And I need to take my own advice because I need to be single for a while too. I really need to work on myself and be actually alone. Because, yeah. But it's just funny because, like, everyone's like, well, I don't know any autistic people who love people. Excuse me, I can name a bunch of people. My grandfather, who married twice, FYI. My best friends, they have had relationships and they're autistic. One of my friends, he has been dating his boyfriend for quite some time, and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. And they've been dating for a year or two, and I'm like, that's super cute. Like, yes. I always tell people that your relationship is your relationship. No one can define it. And that is with autistic people. Don't let anyone define your relationship or tell you what is wrong with your relationship. Your relationship is your relationship. And I'm happy that I have friends who understand what I'm saying and mean. I have really nice people in my life who understand my process of my brain and just everything. And it's really good to have family as well be by your side and to help you, especially. You know, it's nice because my mom is like very sweet about my partners that I bring. She's super sweet and she's like, yeah, I like them. She really it was funny because the first time my dad met my first boyfriend, he was like, oh my god, I love him. And he's like, I'm like, wait, what? And he goes like, he's perfect. He's amazing. He played band. He loved D&D. He was a huge dork. And my dad's like, he is awesome. And he was. He's generally one of my greatest friends till this day. I care about him so much and he's so cool. I bugged him the other day and I was like, do you want to go to the art museum? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then I'm like, look, it's Jesus. He's getting circumcised. And he's like, Jesus, Emily. But I always say that self-love should definitely come first, especially with relationships. If you don't love yourself, how can you love the other person in the relationship? I mean, you can always work on yourself while you're with somebody, but I think it's really important to work on you first. I just adore love. Oh, that's another thing. People think like autistic people hate love. I don't hate love. I love love. I'm a sucker for romance. I am a hopeless romantic. Literally, I kid you not, I remember I was talking to this girl a while back, and I like got her flowers and all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I think you're really cool. Like, I would take any romantic, like, opportunity to make her feel special. And it worked. It really did. I like romance novels, especially Bridgerton. Oh my god. You guys. Whoo! Can we talk about the Duke? Don't get me started on Bridgerton. I literally is my hyperfixation. Good job right now because it's spring and spring reminds me of Bridgerton. And I need to watch season 2. I still have not watched season 2. I heard it's really good with Anthony. Oh my god. Guys, he is so hot. Like, oh. Like, oh my god. The Duke? Yeah, he's hot. Anthony? I don't know, man. It was so funny because when I watched those scenes, if you know what I mean, yes, those scenes, my jaw dropped to the ground because I'm like, oh my god, that's how sex works? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I was so sheltered, especially in middle school. You really think they're gonna actually teach about sex in a Catholic middle school? Yeah, no. And besides, I passed out, but that's a story for another time. I was just like, oh my god, like what? The hell? I'm watching it, I'm like intrigued, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, it was so fascinating, and I was like, so that's how you do it? I'm I'm like, wow, that's magical. And then I talked to my friend who had been intimate before, and I was like, so is that how you do it? And she's like, sweetheart, how do you not know about this? Yeah. And I was like, well, and she goes, yeah, but still, like, sweetie. It was just so pretty, and I don't know, those scenes with Daphne and Simon, whew, girl, they were a little bit spicy. I heard season 2 is extra spicier, so I definitely gotta watch it. But no, I was just intrigued with the characters, especially Penelope and Colin. I don't know, I must contain the fangirl. Let me know if you guys want me to go on a rant about Bridgerton, because I will. I deadass will. And I will bring a guest on here. I will do it. I will bring a guest on here to the show so we can discuss about Bridgerton, because it's awesome. Fast forward to now with my life. I'm currently single, working on me and trying to figure out who I am. Dating as an autistic person, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. I'm going to let you know that. It is not easy. But it is manageable, meaning that people with autism can date. And I can date as an autistic person. And I can have sex as an autistic person. People don't have to have sex just because they're... Hold on. People don't have to have sex to prove that they're not, like, a loser. What I mean is, you don't have to have sex just to have sex. Like, have sex to enjoy it. I had a friend who was like, oh my god, fuck it, I just want to lose my virginity. And she did. And she's like, wait, I regret it because I lost it to the wrong person. Like, you want to have sex because it feels pleasurable and fun. That's what you should really be doing. You don't do it because people are, like, saying, oh, yeah, she doesn't like sex. And then you find out 2 years later, well, I never really liked sex. Why did I let people pressure me into having sex? Don't let people pressure you. That is the thing. Don't let people pressure you, especially if it's about sex. That is the thing that makes me mad, is when people are like, oh, yeah, like, just have sex. It's not that big of a deal. Like, oh my god, it's fine. Just do it. It's kind of a big deal. Like, to me it is. Like, being intimate with somebody, like, it's a little bit of a big deal for me. Like, with me, I need someone I can connect with emotionally. I need someone I can connect with. I don't like hookups or one-night stands just because I get way too attached. And I just like knowing my person and being comfortable with my person and being vulnerable with my person. And I hope this is a good lesson for you guys to learn, that it is okay to be vulnerable with your partners and your family. And I hope you enjoy your Valentine's Day, whether it be loving your partner, your family, your friends, or just loving yourself, because you deserve it. I know I'm going to do this Valentine's Day. I'm watching Bridgerton while eating chocolate. Yeah! Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Emily Speaks. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. I promise you next time when I come back on here, I will have a better microphone. I'll let you guys know how my skin is doing. Remember to spread kindness, spread awareness, and be yourselves. All right, I'll see you later. Bye!